Let us continue the word of the Most High, and all praise and glory to the Most High by Shalom Hashem Shai. We're in Jeremiah 11th chapter. We're looking at why the Most High said, "Woe unto the pastors that scatter the sheep of his flock." Jeremiah 11 and verse 6. It says, "Then the Most High said unto me, proclaim all these words in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem, saying, hear ye the words of this covenant, and do them." We've been going over the covenant that we read in Jeremiah 31:31 down, and Hebrews 8:8 down. The covenant he gave to the 12 tribes of Israel, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. "For I earnestly protested unto your fathers in the day that I brought them up out of the land of Egypt, even to this day, rising early and protesting, saying, obey my voice." Rising early and telling us to obey the Most High. Hear his voice. "Yet they obeyed not, nor inclined their ear, but walked every one in the imaginations of their evil heart." Everyone walked in the imaginations of their evil heart, evil mind, the way they think. That's why it says in Ecclesiastes 3:24, "For many are deceived by their own vain opinion, and an evil suspicion is overthrown the judgment. Therefore I will bring upon them all the words of this covenant, which I commanded them to do, but they did them not." They didn't want to follow the laws, such commandments of the Most High, as it is today. And the Most High said unto me, "Conspiracy is found among the men of Judah and among the inhabitants of Jerusalem. They are turned back to the iniquities of their forefathers, which refused to hear my words, and they went after other gods to serve them. The house of Israel and the house of Judah have broken my covenant, which I made with their fathers." So we're going over the covenant. We're talking about the contract, the agreement that the Most High made with Abraham, to Isaac, to Jacob, to the 12 tribes of Israel, forever and ever and ever. "Therefore," verse 11, "Therefore thus say the Most High, behold, I will bring evil upon them." The Most High said, "I will bring evil upon them." Why? Evil only comes when you break the Most High's laws, statutes, commandments, which they shall not be able to escape. Hear that? So I'm going to bring evil upon you. He brought evil upon us that we weren't able to escape. "And though they shall cry unto me, I will not hearken unto them." Ooh, that's serious. See, though we cry to the Most High, that's the only time that he had pity on us, when we cry to the Most High. But he's saying, hey, there come a time when though we cry to him, he's not going to hear us. "Then shall the cities of Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem go and cry unto the gods unto whom they offer incense." You're going to cry unto these gods of the nations that you've been spoiled by. Cry unto them. "But they shall not save them at all in the time of their trouble." See? That's why I said, go call unto gods that you believe in. You don't believe in the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you say you ain't got to follow him by keeping his rules and regulations, his laws, statutes, commandments. "For according to the number of thy cities were thy gods." Hear that? O Judah. "And according to the number of the streets of Jerusalem have ye set up altars to that shameful thing, even altars to burn incense unto Baal." This is what happened during the Greek Empire. Remember, wicked men set up and brought other men into the wickedness of the gods of the Greeks, Jupiter and Olympius and Zeus and all of that. Why the Most High brought evil upon us? Because we did the same thing over and over again. Ain't nothing new under the sun. Just like it is with all these different religions that are set up today. That's not teaching the children of Israel who they are, or any nationality for that matter. "Therefore pray not thou for this people, neither lift up a cry or prayer for them. You hear that? He said, pray not for this people, neither lift up a cry for them. That's your daddy, your mama, your cousins, your aunts, uncles, nephews, nieces, your friends. Say, don't pray for this people. Don't cry for this people. Don't cry to me for this people. Neither lift up a cry or prayer for them. For I will not hear them in the time that they cry unto me for their trouble. That's serious, people. He say he bringing the evil on you. So once he bring the evil on you, you say, hey, let's just cry to him then. It's too late. Say, I don't hear you. I won't hear you. See? Verse 17. For the most high power of hosts, most high power of armies that planted thee, have pronounced evil against thee for the evil of the house of Israel and of the house of Judah, for all 12 tribes, northern tribes, 9.5 tribes, and 2.5 tribes of the southern kingdom, which they have done against themselves to provoke me to anger in offering incense unto Baal. See, and that's what you're doing when you following the way of the heathen and you following in these religions that's not teaching you who you are or teaching you the Most High power of what he's saying here and what he's going to do. What you think? The Most High is a man that he should lie? No, he's not a man that he should lie. Just what he says he's going to do, he has done it. And it's going to continue to happen because Israel refused to follow his laws. But the 1/3, the remnant, that's going to do what he say do, he's going to bring them back. But all you that want to continue to follow the way of these religions and so forth, it's to you. Because it fit right along where you at. Go to Matthew 13th chapter. Matthew the 13th chapter. And we look at verse 1. The same day, when the Mashiach was out of the house and sat by the seaside, and great multitudes were gathered together unto him, so that he went into a ship and sat. So a great multitude came around him at the seaside. So he went into a ship out in the ocean, out in the sea, and sat. And the whole multitude stood on the shoreline. So the whole multitude stood on the shore while he went out into a ship. You know, you got to go so far out to a ship, they'd bottom out. So they rolled him out to a ship. He got on the ship and sat. And he spake many things unto them in parables or riddles, saying, Behold, a sower went forth to sow. And when he sowed, he planted the seed. Farmer planted his seed. Some seeds fell by the wayside, and the fowls came and devoured them up. Some fell upon stony places, where they had not much earth, and forthwith they sprung up, because they had no deepness of earth, and when the sun was up, they were scorched, and because they had no root, they withered away. And some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprung up and choked them. But others fell up into good ground and brought forth fruit, some 100-fold, some 60-fold, some 30-fold. Who have ears to hear, let them hear. And the disciples came and said unto him, Why speakest thou unto them in parables? He answered and said unto them, this is what he said, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. See? So let's jump over to Mark, the 4th chapter. And Mark will give his analysis of what happened also. So he says in Mark, the 4th chapter, the 9th verse, it says, and he said unto them, he that hath ears to hear, let him hear. This is after he gave the parables. And when he was alone, they that were about him with the 12. So there were some that were about him with the 12, asked of him the parable, the riddle. Remember, he was talking to a multitude of people, but only a few came with the 12, knowing that he was rolling with the 12, to ask him the understanding of the parable that he just said. And he said unto them, unto you it is given to know the mystery, that's something that's unknown, of the kingdom of the Most High. But unto them that are without, all these things are done in parables. Why does he say this? That seeing they may see and not perceive. That seeing they may see and not perceive. Not understand what they see, not comprehend what they really see. And hearing they may hear and not understand. They hear it, but they don't really understand it. Lest at any time, hear that? At any time, they should be converted. See? They should be converted. And their sins should be forgiven them. But you know, he don't want everybody to be converted. That's why he spoke in parables. That their sins would not be forgiven them. But if you're not converted, then your sins not going to be forgiven you. We read that. In Acts the 3rd chapter. Verse 19, Acts 3:19, it says, repent ye therefore, and be converted, that your sins may be blotted out, when the times of refreshing shall come from the presence of the Most High. Shall send of Mashiach Yahushua which before was preached unto you. See? But there are people, including this part of the children of Israel, 2/3 of our people, that you don't want to get this. Hear what he's saying. Mark 4:12, that seeing they may see and not perceive. And hearing they may hear and not understand. Lest at any time in their life, they should be converted. And their sins should be forgiven them. And he said unto them, know ye not this parable? Don't you know this riddle, what I'm talking about? And how then will ye know all parables? See? Just how he spoke. He spoke that way because he don't want everybody to be saved. Because he'd have made sure that everybody's sins will be forgiven. You know what he said in Amos 9 and 10? I can't say it enough to you, brothers and sisters of Israel. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword. Those that break the Most High's laws, statute commandments. See, there are mysteries, things that's unknown. Going back to Matthew 13, verse 12. For whosoever hath, to him shall be given. He that have more, he shall have more abundance. But whosoever have not, from him shall be taken away even that he hath. So you don't want to study to show yourself approved of the Most High? He's going to take even that you have. But if you have this, you're going to receive abundance. You'll have more in abundance. Verse 13. Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. So you say, I ain't wasting my time. See, that's why I'm speaking in parables, because they hearing, they don't hear what I'm saying. And though they see it, they don't see what they should understand by what their eyes are showing them. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah. That's Isaiah's, but it's Isaiah, which said, by hearing ye shall hear and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see and shall not perceive. For this people's heart or mind is waxed gross. Hear that? This people's mind or heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, with their mind, and should be converted, and I should heal them. So you know everybody's not going to be healed. This is not for everyone. But blessed are your eyes. Blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them. Think about all the people that's in this world that's call themselves righteous that don't even know the truth. You start talking to them concerning the truth, they have no idea of what you're talking about. Because they've been indoctrinated, their brain's been polluted. That's why they say that their minds are in gross, I tell you, in gross darkness in Isaiah 60:2. Gross darkness, gross ignorance, not knowing. Just like we're talking and we're going through all these precepts, subject after subject after subject, and it's like quack, 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 quack. That's what they hear. You can't hear. They go into the scripture, reading them, but they still want to hold on to whatever it is they learn in cemetery school or whatever, whoever it is that their pastor or minister, they ask them a question. They can't answer the question according to the word, but yet still they believe in them and whatever they say and what they have learned. It's the same doctrine all over the world. It don't change. No matter where you go to teach, it's the same way the people have been programmed. They did a diabolical plan. I mean, it worked. Because all people are destroyed for what? Lack of knowledge. Because they have forgotten the laws of the Most High. Therefore, the Most High forgot us and the children. So now he's going to explain what he was talking about. Verse 18, hear ye therefore the parable of the sower, which is a farmer. It says, when anyone heareth the word of the kingdom and understandeth it not, then cometh the wicked one and catches away that which was sown in his heart and in his mind. You teaching a brother, then here come the wicked one. Take him away from what it is that he heard. Wow, he was starting to hear the truth and come back to the Spirit of the Most High, allow him to be able to allow his mind to bring all things back to his remembrance. And here come the wicked one to take that which we have sown in them away. That's what he's saying. Then cometh the wicked one and catches away that which was sown in his heart, which is his mind. This is he which receives seed by the wayside. Just like you teaching, next thing you know, here come the wicked one. Next thing they talking to the wicked one. Turn their mind away, right away from hearing the truth. They was almost there, but here come the wicked one in their face. Next thing you know, they turn aside. You see it all the time. If you look at it, any of the street teachers and so forth, we out there on the street, you see it all the time. But he that receiveth the seed into stony places, the same is he that heareth the word, and anon with joy receiveth it. Be happy, hearing the word. Oh wow, we the Israelites. Wow, they understand Deuteronomy 28:68. Wow, we went to ships. We the only ones came in the ship. Oh, that's us. That's us. Mashiach Abishai is black. What? He not this white image that I've been taught all my life. Most High got hair of pure wool. Wow, we gonna get the kingdom. We the kingdom of heaven. It's within us. We the temple of the Most High. They start hearing the truth. You mean Christmas is false? It's pagan? We're supposed to honor the feast days of the Most High, honor his Sabbath, start learning the truth. Feels good to him. Oh wow, I'm an Israelite. I ain't no so-called African American or whatever 75 different names that I've gotten for us as a people. Asking them what's your race or what's your nationality. Either one of them. 75 so far. This says, yet have he, verse 21, yet hath he not root in himself, but dureth for a while. They be dealing for a while. For when tribulation or persecution arises because of the word, by and by he is offended. Like I said, revolving door. He's offended. He also that received seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful. That's those that got to deal with, I got to work, I got to get a job. All they got to do is work, trying to make money. So here come, those opportunities come to them. Next thing you know, they ain't dealing with the word no more. They ain't dealing with the Most High. They ain't got time to put in work for the Most High. They bring together the children of Israel back together again. Verse 23, but he that receives seed into the good ground is he that heareth the word and understandeth it, which also beareth fruit and bringeth forth some an hundredfold, some 60, some 30. See? Why is he speaking in parables? He told you. Verse 14. Verse 13, therefore speak I to them in parables, because they seeing, see not, and hearing, they hear not, neither do they understand. And they're not trying to come to try and get more understanding of what it is that he is saying. That's a mystery. You're not trying to get it. See? Zechariah 13 and 8. Zechariah 13 and 8. Zechariah 13 and 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, said the Most High, two parts therein. Shall be cut off and die. 2 parts, that's 2/3 of our people shall be cut off and die. But the third shall be left therein. So I hear us all the time saying 1/3 is the remnant, the election, the elect. The sheep that hear Mashiach Shai's voice, the sanctified, the glorified, the many, the all, which is a certain number. The few, which is just 1/3. 2 parts shall be cut off and die. 2/3 of our people are going to be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Most High is my power, as we are today. But we're not going to call on him. He's not going to hear us if we're not going to be obedient to his voice and follow his laws, statutes, commandments, his rules and regulations. It's not going to happen. You see, Israel want to do it their own way. And it's going to be a breach between us and the Most High. And trying to do it that way. That's why we as a people, we have been given the laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High, his rules and regulations. He say, you follow my voice, you obey my voice, I'm going to bless you. If you don't, I'm going to curse you. Look at go to Jeremiah the 12th chapter. and verse 14. Thus said the Most High Power against all mine evil neighbors that touch the inheritance which I have caused my people Israel to inherit. That touch the land that the Most High has caused we the children of Israel to inherit. Behold, I will pluck them out of their land, and pluck out the house of Judah from among them. And it shall come to pass, after that I have plucked them out, I will return and have compassion on them, and will bring them again, every man to his heritage, and every man to his land. And it shall come to pass, if they will diligently learn the ways of my people, to swear by my name, Most High liveth, as they taught my people to swear by Baal, then shall they be built in the midst of my people. But if they will not obey, I will utterly pluck up and destroy that nation, said the Most High. Either you're going to follow this rod of iron that the Mashiach is bringing back, or Isaiah the 60th chapter, 12th verse. It says, for the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish, Yeah, those nations shall be utterly wasted. Gonna be utterly wasted. They don't want to serve us. This nation gonna be utterly wasted. That's why everybody is going to be subject to the laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High. So either you're going to start now, or you can be made with that rod of iron to serve the Most High and His laws, statutes, commandments. Or, like it just read, you're going to perish. Look at Isaiah 62 and 1. Isaiah 62 and 1. For Zion's sake, for the 12 tribes of Israel's sake, 1/3, mind you, as we just read, will I not hold my peace. And for Jerusalem's sake, I will not rest, until the righteousness thereof go forth as brightness, and the salvation thereof as a lamp that burneth. And the Gentiles shall see thy righteousness, and all kings thy glory. And thou shalt be called by a new name, which the mouth of the Most High shall name. He will call us by a new name, which the Most High is going to name us. Just like a Mashiach Shai is coming back with a name that only He Himself knows. So He's going to give us a new name that the Most High knows. Thou shalt also be a crown of glory in the hand of the Most High, and a royal diadem in the hand of thy power. Thou shalt no more be turned forsaken. No more shall we be turned forsaken. Neither shall thy land any more be turned desolate. But thou shalt be called Hephzibah, and thy land Beulah. For the Most High delighteth in thee, and thy land shall be married. We go back. But see, right now the land is desolate. For as a young man marrieth a virgin, so shall thy sons marry thee. And as the bridegroom, who is the husband, rejoices over the bride, so shall thy power rejoice over thee. This is for those that's going to come back to His law, statutes, commandments, and have faith in the Mashiach Yahushua, the true testament of the Mashiach Yahushua, to the glory of the Most High. I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace, day nor night. Ye that make mention of the Most High, keep not silent. Keep exalting Him. You got to come back to the Most High. And the way you come back to Him is to follow his rules and regulations, his laws, statutes, commandments, and be obedient to his voice, which is the word of the Most High, which is the Mashiach Yahushua. And give him no rest till he establish, until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth, because Jerusalem not a praise in the earth now. He said when the true Israelites go back to Israel, violence no more, let's read it, gonna be heard in their land. Isaiah 60 and 18. Then you know that the true Israelites are not in the land of Israel, because it says, violence shall no more be heard in thy land, wasting or destruction within thy borders. Ain't gonna be no bombing and anything that's, violent happening in our land of Israel when the true Israelites go there. That's why I say when you look at all the things that's going on and you don't desire what you're seeing and hearing now, if your eyes are open, it says, violence shall no more be heard in thy land, wasting nor destruction within thy borders. But thou shalt call thy walls salvation, and thy gates praise. See? So our gates going to be open continually. Look at verse 11. Therefore thy gates shall be open continually. That's why our gates will be called praise. Therefore thy gates shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day nor night. Gates going to be wide open continually. They're not going to be shut day nor night, that men may bring into thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. See? That's why our gates going to be open continually. They're not going to be shut day nor night. The forces mean the wealth of the Gentiles. And you're working for children of Israel. Almost just like it is now. This is a change of the God. It's going to be a righteous kingdom. You ain't got to be worried about all the wickedness that's going on in this world. It's not going to be happening in the kingdom. Revelation 21 and 25. It says, and the gates of it shall not be shut at all by day, for there shall be no night there. They shall bring the glory and honor of the nations into it. Where Gentiles just mean nations. You see? We'll bring all the wealth and the forces of the Gentiles, the things that they're making, under instruction of the Most High, Mashiach Yahushua, into our gates. Just as it is today. Just a change of the guard. Only going to be in righteousness. Ain't going to be no wickedness. Listen. Verse 24. And the nations of them which are saved shall walk in the light of it. And the kings of the earth do bring their glory and honor into it. Hear that? Kings of the earth going to bring their glory and honor into it. That's why our gates going to be open day and night. Verse 27, and there shall in no wise enter into it anything that defileth, neither whatsoever worketh abomination, or maketh a lie, but they which are written in the Lamb's book of life. That's the only ones going to be in these gates. They're going to bring it to the gates, we're going to take it in. They ain't coming into the kingdom. But they're going to be able to see the light that's shining bright, that's illuminating. And they're going to learn these laws, statutes, commandments. They're going to learn. Or they don't want, that's the only way you serve the Most High, is to do what he say do. Obey his voice. That's his voice. And if they don't want to obey his voice, then they're going to perish. Simple as that. Look. Isaiah 61 and 4. And they shall build the old wastes. They shall raise up the former desolations. And the Most High say on our place, inhabitation in Israel is desolate right now, where the city of David is and so forth. It says, they shall raise up the former desolations, and they shall repair the waste cities and desolations of many generations. Hear that? Many generations will be built up again. And strangers shall stand and feed your flocks. See? Strangers, these other nations are going to stand and feed our flocks. And the sons of the alien shall be your plowmen and your vine brush dressers. Although they call us aliens. But you're going to be the alien that's going to stand, shall be your plowmen and your vine dressers. But ye shall be named the priests of the Most High. Men shall call you the ministers of our power. Ye shall eat the riches of the Gentiles. That's why our gates will be open and continually bring the wealth of the Gentiles into it. And in their glory shall you boast yourselves. For your shame ye shall have double. And for confusion they shall rejoice in their portion. Therefore in their land they shall possess the double. Everlasting joy shall be upon them. For I, the Most High, love judgment. I hate robbery for burnt offerings, and I will direct their work in truth. I will make an everlasting covenant with them. See? That everlasting covenant he's going to make with us. He's going to put his laws in our inward parts. So Mashiach teaching us of the Most High, how we please him, how we can be obedient to him. Where there's no need for sacrifice because we're going to be righteous. I mean, that's what it's saying. Isaiah 60 and 21. Thy people, your people, also shall be all righteous. We're going to be righteous. I mean, we're going to follow the laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High in the kingdom. They shall inherit the land forever. You know, we're going to inherit the land of Israel forever. The branch of my planting, the branch of the Most High's planting. He's going to make sure this happens. Not man, but the Most High. He's going to make sure this happens. The branch of the Most High's planting. The work of my hands, that I may be glorified. So when any man want to take the place of the Most High, how is the Most High going to be glorified if man's doing this? He said he's going to do this that he may be glorified. That's why we give all praise and glory to the Most High. Go to Jeremiah, the 30th chapter. Jeremiah 30. Jeremiah 30 and 1. We're going to look at this because so much confusion when it shouldn't be, but it is because of the different doctrines that's been taught in these churches and so forth that have caused our people to go astray, to be scattered. I like to say to be scattered minded, so that they do not see the truth or can't see the truth because they trying to hold on, and their pride won't allow them to let go of what they have learned from those that went to cemetery schools, or those that were ordained a preacher by some other preacher that was all caught up in keeping our people confused and how not to follow the laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High. So that's what's going on. If you're taught you're not under the law, I can't say it, I'm going to keep saying it because that's what's being taught, that's what's being said, and that's why the Most High says he's going to do what he's going to do to those that don't repent and start teaching our people correctly, according to thus say the Most High word, that they are the children of Israel, and not Gentiles or another nation. You can't tell them where they came from. Can't tell them nothing. Can't tell them who they are. Ask your pastor, well, what nation am I? And hopefully he won't say African American. Africa was named after Neo-Sapiens Africanus, and America was named after Amerigo Vespucci. He said, well, if he say African American, well, how did that come from two so-called white men? That doesn't make sense. Because you are who your father's father is. So how you come from them? I mean, just confusion. This, then they try and justify, the land doesn't determine who you are, people. The land that you're born in does not determine where you are, or wherever you're born at doesn't determine where you're at. There's an old saying, you were born in an airplane, and some people do be flying in the air during the time of deliverance so they could try and have their children be born in America, free country. When they born, they look down and say, at that time of birth, where were they at? Whoop, look down. Oh, they were in America. Okay, well, the child is an American. So what are you, though? Really? You're born in an airplane, so what are you going to call you? Airplanian? It might sound funny, it might sound foolish, but that's what it sounds like when you determine who you are, what your nationality is by a landmass and not your father's. Everything you look at is his seed. His seed. So let's read Jeremiah 30. Jeremiah 30 and 1. And the word that came to Jeremiah from the Most High, saying, thus speaketh the Most High, power of Israel. So he's the power of Israel. He's not the power of Esau or Moab or Ammon or Ham or Elam or any other nation. Ishmael, he's the power of Israel. He's the power of the Israelites, 12 tribes of Israel, saying, write thee all the words that I have spoken unto thee in a book. So the Most High is telling Jeremiah to write these words in a book. For lo, the days come, said the Most High, that I will bring again the captivity of my people, Israel and Judah, northern tribes and the southern tribes, said the Most High. And I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it. So we know that this hasn't happened yet because it says violence not going to be in the land of Israel when he bring us back to our land, when he plant us in our land. And these are the words that the Most High spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. For thus said the Most High, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. That's what we're hearing now. Being shot, verdict is not guilty. You don't know. Hands up, boom, you still get shot. Or I can't breathe, you still get choked out. Everybody's seeing it. Heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. No peace to us. When they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction come upon them. That travail of a woman, happening over and over again. Ask ye now, and see whether a man does travail with child. A man can have a baby? Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, like a woman having a baby? Why the man is hurt, like a woman having a child? As a woman in travail, having her contractions before she has the baby. And all faces are turned into paleness. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. So it's the time of our trouble right now, brothers and sisters. But he shall be saved out of it. You see? That's why he told us, go that. Get Revelation 12 and 12. It's the time of Jacob's trouble. We're going to be saved out of it. Yeah, we're going to go through tribulation and hard times and all kinds of things going to come against us. But we're going to be saved out of it. Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Talk about here on the earth. Woe, destruction to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he has but a short time. He knoweth he only have a short time. Verse 17. And the dragon, which is the devil, which is the serpent, which is Satan, was wroth with the woman. The woman represents the Israelites in Jeremiah 6 and 2. I have likened the daughter of Zion to a comely and delicate woman. So the devil was wroth with the woman, with we the 12 tribes of Israel, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed. See? That's the 1/3, which is the remnant of her seed. But which remnant of her seed? Which keep the commandments of the Most High and have the testimony of Mashiach Yahushua. This is who the devil gonna come down against. Those that have the commandments of the Most High and the true testimony of Mashiach Yahushua. As it is written, we just read it. Because he already got the other ones that's going to hell with him. But we that's keeping the commandments of the Most High, that's a serious threat. Because Esau is the end of the world in 2nd Ezra 6 and 9. And Jacob is the beginning that follow it. We got next. To rule forever and ever and ever. As we just read, violence shall no more be heard in our land. It's going to be peace. We're going to have rest. The nations, as they doing now, instead of IRS, Internal Revenue Service, is going to be Israelite receiving the services of the nations. In righteousness, though, in a righteous kingdom. But you can't relate to that because all you know is wickedness. All you see in this world is unrighteousness. Wickedness. Every day. Happening all the time. Around the hour. Breaking news. Around the hour. All throughout the day. Going back to Jeremiah 30. Verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. But he shall be saved out of it. So you understand. You got to have faith and believe in the Most High. He said we're going to be saved out of it. No matter how it looks, we're going to be saved out of it. Thus say the Most High. And understand this. Numbers 23:19. The Most High said it. The Most High is not a man. First and foremost, he is a man. He is not a man that he should lie. And they say he, she, or she at all. They said that he should lie. Neither the Son of Man that he should repent. Has he said? Have he said it? And shall he not do it? Or hath he spoken? And shall he not make it good? See? He gonna make it good. That's why he told us in Malachi 3 and 6. Malachi 3 and 6. Malachi 3 and 6. For I am the Most High. I change not. Therefore you sons of Jacob are not consumed. He said, remember we read earlier how he said if you can measure the sun, you know, first he said it's the sun and the moon and the stars, and the depths of the sea be done away with, paraphrasing, then we would not be a nation. We can measure the universe and the depths of the sea, then we won't be a nation. Nobody can do that. So Malachi 3 and 6 says, for I am the Most High, I change not. Therefore you sons of Jacob are not consumed. So that's the Most High. So you want to run to Mashiach Yahushua? Run to him. He said in St. John 10 and 30, I and my Father are one. So Hebrews 13 and 8. The Mashiach Yahushua, the same yesterday and today and forever. So he ain't changing nothing that the Most High said. because he is the word of the Most High. The Most High have a voice, and Mashiach Yahushua is the words of that voice. Going back to Jeremiah 30. Verse 7 says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Hallelujah. So Wisdom of Solomon 5. Wisdom of Solomon. Well, let's read Psalm 94:16 first. Psalm 94:16. We get the answer in Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter. Psalm 94:16. Who will rise up for me against the evildoers? Say, who's going to rise up for the Most High against the evildoers? Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? Who's going to rise up for the Most High against the evildoers? Who's going to stand up for the Most High against the workers of iniquity? Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. Just who will. Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. So who's going to stand up for the Most High against the evildoers and the workers of iniquity? Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors, like free labor, slavery. So you're going to stand up against the evildoers and workers of iniquity. Those that telling you that you have to follow the laws. They're not following these laws. They don't know the Most High. They don't know Mashiach Yahushua. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for. Hold that. Get Micah 7:16 and 17. Get Micah 7:16 and 17. Micah 7:16. The nations shall see and be confounded, confused at all their might. They shall lay their hand upon their